Zidane Daney, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Electro Ninja's Lab. We're back with something that is not nerd chat for once. Uh, but yeah, welcome back. I have been not feeling great, so that's why we've only been doing nerd chats. But we're back with a Show It Some Love, and today's Show It Some Love is, of course, about a relatively new series, Dungeon Friends Forever. And, yeah, there's I think it's pretty clear what the series is about just from the title, but let me, of course, go ahead and read the back for you. I ship the hero and dragon. Van the warrior and Ryuk the dragon have been friends since childhood. As adults, Van is now a dashing adventurer, and Ryuka has become the big boss of a dangerous dungeon. Every time Van wants to hang out with his old friend, he must navigate a dungeon and clobber a... Okay, that I... Dyslexia. Of Ryuka's monster underlings, basically a horde. Will their friendship grow into something more? It's very basic, just two best friends who have known each other for years. Likely it will go into something more romantic eventually, but at the same time it's kind of unclear. But basically, this is, first off, I would like to be very clear, this is not an isekai. Is it isekai adjacent? Probably. But it's a very standard fantasy world where these two characters have been friends for their entire lives, and as such, they continue to be friends. There are some things that are just like a little bit weird about the series, but as a whole, it's basically just he comes to the dungeon, beats up all of her dungeon to get to the bottom, and then when he gets there, he and her just hang out doing whatever the heck they want to do, whether it be playing games, watching movies, just snacking, anything that they freaking want to do at the time. And it's just a load of fun. That's all that I can really say for the show, for the series. As of this point in time, there's only one volume, so now's a good time to be picking it up, especially since it's the holiday season and it's a romance comedy, so why not? And basically, yeah, it's just them having fun. Most of the first few chapters are just him trying to get to the bottom, and and basically her allies being like kind of a pain in the ass. Like the first episode is just him revealing, "Hey, I'm moving to I'm moving to the town that is right next to you, so that means that I can come literally every day over to visit and hang out." Which is a huge blessing for both of them because of the fact that at this up until this point, he has only been able to come over like once a week, I believe is what they say. But now he's obviously able to come whenever he wants. So it's fantastic. It's fun. So with that, actually, it's really interesting because the fact that, one, he's been every single week he has been coming across across a very large distance because he can only come once a week, as well as marching down to the bottom of the dungeon. This dungeon, by the way, no one up to this point has been able to defeat, which is insane to think about. Meanwhile, he just waltzed right through it like it's butter. And it's absolutely insane. And they make this very clear throughout the series that no one is able to get to the bottom of this dungeon officially. He is the only one who is ever able to get through this dungeon, and pretty much nobody knows that they are friends except for him, her parents, I think his parents, I don't remember. It's kind of a iffy situation. And her four generals, which are basically just the guys that are right before he enters into the central center of the dungeon where she hangs out. And that's pretty much it. So he basically just waltzes through that every day, and somehow no one has figured this out for years. But yeah, they basically just hang out, read manga, fun, wholesome things. There is a little bit of chaos with her generals because they want things to be a little bit more intense, and they want to push them to actually being in a relationship, which, let's be clear, never ship real people. Let's just be very clear about that. Even if you have friends that are like this in real life, don't be like these people, because they are, like, clearly these two do care deeply for each other. But if this happens in real life, don't be like those people who are just like, let's just push you guys to be together, because oftentimes that just ends up going terribly. So don't be like that. But yeah, the two of them get to hang out. They hang out with their friends. And then often, but since he is also in an adventurers guild that is right next to the dungeon, a lot of times people are asking him, "Hey, do you want to come to the dungeon? Do you want to help us get? Do you want to get some loot with us?" And he's like, and he has to turn them down because he knows that if he ever goes down, he's just gonna win everything. It actually becomes something that is kind of a weird situation that he basically has, in order to prove himself, he has to actually go in, get some loot from the dungeon. So he actually asks her if he could just take something somewhat valuable that he could just take up to the top of the up to the guild, just to say, "Hey, I'm actually pretty good at this." Which, to be fair, he is really freaking good at it. And something that he can only get from a lower part of the dungeon that no one else has gotten to at this point. And it's very fun. There's also lots of other things that it's just like, what the heck? Especially the harpy. If you want to skip the harpy stuff, you might want to, because it's kind of dirty. It's like the dirtiest part of this series, and this series is 13 plus. So if it wasn't for that, it would probably be less. So yeah, keep that in mind. Near the end of this volume, though, there's actually somebody who comes to the Adventurers Guild who is able to get all the way to the bottom of the dungeon, and everyone is freaking out as this guy shows up. And the main characters basically have to be like, "No, don't go to the bottom of the dungeon. Don't kill my best friend." And that is where the series ends, or where the chapter ends. There is some really cool stuff that is like that happens at the end there, where people are just like, yeah, they're clearly don't do this. I don't know, but it's honestly, read the series if you can, because it's, like I said, it's a really fun, wholesome series. And while there are certain points that are just like, what the fudge, it's mostly from the harpy. If you want to skip the harpy stuff, you can probably skip the harpy stuff. She's just crazy. But also, like, it's still pretty minor stuff. So, and think of that how you will. But as a whole, I would say that this series is absolutely a fun series that you could just enjoy. Whenever it eventually gets an anime adaptation, then I will probably review it at that point as well. But as of right now, it's probably just gonna have a few manga series and a few manga volumes, and we'll see how it goes. At this point in time, I am really enjoying it, and I'm sure that you guys will as well if you do go ahead and check it out. But yeah, Dungeon Friends Forever. Enjoy. But anyways, guys, I've been Electro Ninja. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please make sure to leave a like, leave your thoughts and theories down in the comments below. And of course, if you have any questions, any theories, make sure to say theory review somewhere in a comment, and we'll talk about it in a future video. But anyways, guys, I've been Electro Ninja, and I'll see you guys next time. But on. No matter if Santa comes, no matter if Santa comes, in our Star Wars pajamas, with pictures of Jawas, eating his cookies and milk.